It's 1994 and Cisalpina stands at a crossroads. For years we have built machines to chase lap times and evoke pure emotion. Our cars are low, light and made without compromise. But the world is changing. The SUV boom is starting and, while business is okay, Giorgio Antonelli wants to diversify. The company is much bigger now. Many families depend on us and SUVs look like a gold mine. Giorgio thinks that they are the best way to find the customers that we need. The ones with money. Lorenzo, our aging founder, is not happy. He has tried to retire many times, but he can never seem to leave his office. To him, this idea is a sacrilege. He thinks Giorgio is risking our entire racing pedigree for a trend. It's a massive gamble. If we get this right, we will pioneer the performance SUV years before the rest of the world. If we get it wrong, we ruin a legendary brand for a quick buck. Today, we begin our most controversial project yet. Is it a stroke of genius or have we finally lost our way? Let's find out. Alright, it's been a while, but we are back. And before we start our new project, we still need to sign off the old one. I didn't sign off our GT1 project yet, because I first wanted to see if they actually drive well on the road. So let's do that quickly. So everything was basically set up already properly. I'll just adjust the prices. Yeah, sitting at around 1.5 shifts. That should be pretty good. And with that we have a cost of 70 million, which should be alright. So I'm not gonna take a loan for this one, and let's sign it off. Alright, let's quickly check if the body I want to use is already available. And if yes, we can directly jump into engineering. Or if there's anything else that I need to do. I think the body just unlocked. We are in tech year 1997 already. The advanced all-wheel drive might be quite nice to have, but I definitely won't wait until then. It would take us another 4 years. And the semi-space frame would have been nice as well, but I guess we have to bring this to a monocoque, even though it will be expensive as hell. But yeah, we are making a nice profit. We have a credit score of C+, not too good, but also not too bad. We still have plenty of remaining loans outstanding. Oh yeah. We are so much in debt. We are repaying 6 million a month, but as long as we are profitable, I think it's fine. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's start our new project. And yeah, it's a SUV, so utility sport, I think it's clear. And the ones with the money are utility sport luxury. I think that's where we are going. And there we have 916 potential buyers. We see currently 151, so not too many. So monocoque will be quite challenging. And yeah, a third of them is in the Lure and the other part basically in Gasmir. So let's start off a new car project for utility sport luxury. There is actually a body that's not utterly ugly. And it's this one. So basically this family, I take the 2.8 meter wheelbase version and it has a bit of a coupe silhouette. So I think that will do the trick for Cisalpina. Yeah, I think I can work with that, even though the rear is massive. We'll have to find a few tricks to work with that. For the body, we are pretty good with aluminium. So either aluminium or partial aluminium. Let's go with aluminium for now. And yeah, if we go for monocoque, then we definitely will need a medium factory for that one again. I am not sure if that's the way to go. A space frame for an SUV would be very pioneer level, I'd say. Let's just plan with monocoque for now and see how far we can take this and if it's actually selling. The engine obviously is a front longitudinal with double wishbone in the front, and yeah, we always have double wishbone in the rear. Question is, do we want to do something else? Multi-link would be good as well, but I think we'll just take a double wishbone because we have so much experience with it. We used 2 tech pool for unlocks, and that's the advanced high strength steel which is a little lighter than the other ones. And I think that's the goal that we want to achieve here. We build an SUV, inside it should still be the sports and partially supercar, so that we still have a little bit of Cisalpina's roots in there. But the engineering is just a placeholder for now. I want to do the design first. Also, I will just throw an existing engine in there, and the existing one is probably our V12. And let's take a trim from 1992, the 370 horsepower V12. Okay, we have all-wheel drive, and the helical is actually what we want. Actual gears that work. And yeah, now the next big question. What kind of gearbox? Cisalpina, of course, is manual. Advanced automatic could be bearable. I'll stick a manual into it for now, because that's what we're good in. For now I just choose basic things here. Luxury or handmade? Not sure. And for power steering, this will be heavy enough, I think, that we need power steering. So let's choose the best that our suppliers can give us. The variable hydraulic will have ESC and standard safety. Springs, definitely nothing too fancy. Progressive, but we go with adaptive dampers and passive sway bars. But yeah, as I said, just placeholders. It's tending to go into the green, which is good enough for now. And let's now focus on the design. So color, for now let's work with a nice red, Cisalpina red, of course. Maybe let's do a slight variation of this. Just make it a little bit more premium looking. Yeah, let's work with that. Alright, so now a little bit of body morphing. What do I want to achieve? Basically not too much. What I want to avoid is giving it massive bumpers like this, because that will limit me pretty much in which shapes I can use. And I've tried around so many different things. I built several prototypes for this, and I have a rough idea now where I want to go, and especially where I don't want to go. I will show you a few of my tries here, but it was not always pretty. So with the SUV, I'm definitely leaving my comfort zone now. Let's try to keep this sporty, somewhat fragile looking, elegant, but on such a massive body, this is super hard. So let's see what I can do. So I'm not yet happy with the rear shape. Let's work on that a little bit more. Okay, that will be our base shape. And now let's try to do something there. As I said, I played around quite a little bit to make this look like a SUV, like from the late 90s, early 2000s. This will be in engineering 6 years at least. So 2000 release date. We almost had the Porsche Cayenne, I think that was 2002. We had the Mercedes M-Class already, so that's the ballpark. But this must be a little bit more prestigious. So the Porsche Cayenne, from my point of view, was just not really elegant and nice. I wanted to reuse a little bit from the Nuvia that you might remember, and the two cars couldn't be more different. So the Nuvia was this very fragile, slender first supercar that we built, mid-engined, very low, and this is front-engined, very high. But we'll use a little bit, for example, for the grille. I think I want to do an oval grille, and as for SUVs, they are normally quite huge. Yeah, you see that the border, if I want to get in some chrome here, doesn't look really nice. Also, it doesn't cut into this very nicely. So I might need to model this on my own. So this is just a placeholder for now to get the proportions where I want to have them. I think it needs to be a little lower, and hopefully we can also get rid of that crease in there, which is coming from the base body shape, I believe. But yeah, something like this. I will replace it later with something that looks a little nicer, but I will already use our signature grill mesh. So that's one thing. Then we need to somehow get a little bit of contours into the front to give it some shape. So I want to do that for the fog lights. Probably something like this. But the fog lights themselves, they are pretty bad. So let's make everything transparent and place something else in there. Do that later. And then to make it look less massive in the front, we need to take away some of the height here. And I want to partially do that with another grill. Also we need to have a number plate. I should probably place that as soon as possible. And a black stripe on the bottom to make it look a little more slim. Just as a rough shape for now. And let's do the black stripe. And we will mold it out with kind of a lip a little later. Yeah, not perfect, but we can fix it later and clean it up. Just want to get a feeling. Alright. And then for the headlights, something I also never really tried so far. If you take a look at the Ferrari 360 Modena, it has some kind of molded, sunken into the body headlights and then a clear glass cover on top of that. And I thought maybe I can achieve something similar here. So let's first select an outer shape and then try to sink the headlights and the indicator into there. I have the feeling that we need to remorph the body a little bit. I think it needs to be less flat here. Doesn't really work with the grill. It's already much better. It's a bit more bulky now in the front. I think it makes sense. And we also need to move the grill up a little bit and make it a little smaller. Something a little like this. I will remove the glass cover for now. And first of all I want to use these and try if those work for this purpose. Probably not. Yeah, maybe like this. Yeah, these shapes are not so easy to work with. I'll keep it on one side and we'll try something else on the other side. I have something in mind with some basic round vents. Yeah, it's not exactly the effect I wanted to have. I found something in the tunnel lights here. So these are basically circles that taper inwards. Of course I don't want to have them actually light up, but I think those could be pretty good. Those could do the trick. That's not looking too bad. Now what I really would like to have is from the new game build the option that we could inset this a little bit. But I cannot do that in this old game build, so we have to live with it. Okay, this is the indicator, of course. I think that's the way to go. Let's delete what we have here. Now let's fill the remaining spaces. Many patches needed. The problem is that these tapered pieces are not really cutouts. Now that I think about it, might actually have been easier if I just covered it all and then put cutouts inside. Do I want to do that now? Now that I've basically done it. What I mean is, the better way to do it would have been, we have something like this, an empty plane, then we patch it up. Let's bring this to level 2. And then if you want to get round holes in it, just use the cutout and place it on layer 3, and there you go. Yeah. The only problem that we then have is that it would also cut a hole into the glass. In theory, this would be much cleaner for the red surface below the glass, but then we have to cover it up again, and we'll get a bit of jank around the headlight. So that's why I stick with what I have. But this would be a much quicker and easier way to do it with a few other problems. So let's continue my way. That don't look too good if you look too closely. But of course you promised me not to look too closely. This is so bad. Let's use a bigger one. Just try to get it on top. So now we have one big problem instead of many small problems. I think that's better. Yeah, we do have a bit of an issue over this crease here. Nothing I can do. Just fix that triangle here, and then I'm happy enough. Not fully. There's another gap here. That's actually now overall, I think it's better than I thought it would be. So let's leave it like this. We need a badge, of course. And of course we also still need to align it. But I also need to do the grill properly now. So let's try to do that. I will use bumper bars. We have these parts here, and I hope that they will do the trick. So a very rough outline is done. Let's remove the original. Oh, actually not too bad. Just a little bit of cleaning up to do. It's always gonna be a bit janky when you place things so manually. But I'm pretty happy also the way it aligns with the headlights. In initial tries I tried to cut away parts of the headlights and it didn't really work out. Some might want the grille to be a little wider, but I'll leave it as it is. So now let's cut away the inside. I don't know how many patches I used in my life. That's the most important part on any build. There's plenty of room for more engine, I see. Do we have the money for another engine project? I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty good. And we can manipulate how deep the grill sits. The green scale thingy. And there we go. A little too far to the inside. That's better. So I don't want to leave it at this. I want to have two more lines going down here, following the line of the headlights. Maybe like this, and make it a little slimmer. Alright, and we'll have the same down here. And then let's place our headlights, and then we are basically done at the front. Our fog lights, I mean. It's actually not too bad looking like this. Might just go with this as it is. Alright, yeah. That was easier as I thought, and I think it might get away with a release in early 2000s. It's a little modern as always, but it also has to do a few years, and I'm too lazy to do facelifts. I think there are many elements in there that you could see on cars of that era, even though they might not have been combined in such a way yet, but I'm pretty happy with that. And it looks quite clean as well. The only thing I don't know if it's too nice is this crease over here, because it should rather be here. And then I also want to add a hood scoop. Maybe we can combine that. Not all too good, I think. I think I need to fix the seam independently. Yeah, let's try to fix the vent first. The scoop. As always, I want to have some kind of inset scoop, and I think I will choose our body molding part here. Yep, that's looking decent. Yeah, I'm not too happy about this part here, but there's nothing I can really do about it. Let's move on. So first of all, some washer nozzles, and maybe we want to have the same also here in the front. First time that we have washer nozzles for the headlights. A little bit of detail that make it look like it's meant to be in a bit rougher environments. And yeah, I still need to work on the lip. It cannot stay this way. But yeah, the black stripe really takes away some of the visual height. And I think that's a good thing. Yeah, reflections are not perfect, but geometry wise it's good. So it will look good in BeamNG at least. Here on the side we can actually paint this stripe here black, which also helps a little bit in the visual weight department. So let's continue with the front because I'm scared of the rear. Yeah, wipers, of course, quite easy. Alright, and then some wing mirrors, of course. I think we are still not in the age yet where you would place indicators inside the mirrors. I noticed some black borders here. Yeah, there's still some black inside. I want to remove that. I used the trim color for many parts, so that was my fault. On the side, yeah, the side is for last, I think. Let's do that in the end. For the rear, the rear is such a huge problem, to be honest. It's just a wall of paint. How do we make this more sporty? So the normal approach is, if you have such a vertical problem, then you use horizontal lines to make it look wider. And like in the front and on the side, we will use a black part, a diffuser, indicated diffuser in the bottom part to take away some of the visual height, and then work with wide horizontal structures to make this look a little bit wider and less tall. For the diffuser, maybe let's use something like this, and we'll probably have to cut away something there in the bottom. But first let's place our exhaust. Just need to be shoved inside. Then we'll need some bumper bars again. And then let's place a grill mesh. And then take away that red part there. I'd rather patch it to be black, to be honest. And don't use a cut-up patch, but a regular one. Else we will just destroy everything. We need a decal patch. It's alright. It's not perfect, but it's alright. Then we need a number plate, and we try to get some contours into this body. This one is basically perfect here. Lining up there. Yeah, lined up the outer border here a bit better. Cutouts are not perfect, but it's alright. So now, the big horizontal structure that I was talking about. And now, yeah, the big horizontal structure that we need to further slim down the rear. I'd go for an oval shape, because we already have this line here that's kind of round. Just hoping that the cutout works well enough. Yeah, it doesn't. So I can just make this more aggressive and then place something inside, I guess. I need this contour line. Just checking, we roughly are following this upper line, so it's good. And now for the taillights. Yeah, I said let's have this car inspired by the Nuvia, as weird as it is. But we have the oval shape on the front, on the rear. as well. And we will also try to have single round taillights. So let's see what we can do there. So I definitely don't want them to be inset, so I'd rather go with something like this, but for sure not as pronounced. I'm not too happy with how far those things are sticking out, so I might need to change things around a little bit. I'm not so sure if I want to have these triple thingies, but it might be the only way to have indicators, reversing lights and everything. I don't like the LED look though, so I will just remove those. Yeah, not a fan of the triple thingies. Let's do doubles. So we now have these. And we need to stick them into something. Let's try the round vent. Yeah, that might be an option. It just needs to be larger. Certainly not ideal with how far this sticks out there, but I don't think there's any so much better option. I will try one more thing, if an exhaust can help us here. Cut exhaust, yeah. Just have to make sure that this doesn't connect to the engine, because otherwise we'll have smoky taillights. This might actually not be too bad. I think it might actually be the best option so far. No. Let's bring this in a little bit more. Absolute misuse of the exhaust fixture here. So now I have a little bit of a slimmer rim than this big one. I think I like that one more. Question is just, I think I need to move it to the outside a little bit more. Everything. That's a bit of a problem. Just need to make sure that we get the seam away, so I need to cut away something again. So then we have a reversing light here. We need indicators at some point. So yeah, that's the way to go. Let's delete this. Let's mirror the exhaust. There we go. And then we need, of course, a badge in the rear. And I also want to give it a spoiler. And I have something in mind there as well that might follow the contours pretty nicely. It's basically that one, not like this, but in 3D. Like this, and then some scaling magic. Basically, I just want to break up this this upper surface there a little bit. I think this one does it quite nicely. Though it might look better on this seam, as if it was meant to be that way. Let's place some wheels on there as well. So these would be the Alpha style. Might be quite nice. Maybe a bit too early, I don't know. Maybe something a bit more basic still for this era, to make it not look too modern. And let's go with these for now, but I will increase the rim size by 1. Don't know if it's too much for the era. So then, yeah, indicators and probably some reflective stripes. Now that I take a look at it, I think the taillights need to be bigger. It's not balanced. Yeah, it's okay. Just still have the indicator problem. And I'll probably put it inside there somehow. Yeah, let's do it like this. I think that's alright. Okay, finishing touches. So I got a bit of molding down there, but I also want to have a side vent. Just a small one. So nothing too fancy, just something that fits in there. Then we should probably take this line from the vent and lead it a little bit further down. Right, I'm almost done. The only thing I want to do is give it some more wheel arches, and I'll probably use something from here. Just so really just a tiny bit of definition there, not too much. I think it makes a huge difference. All right, I think that's pretty good. And that's it. One last thing, I will put a placeholder name on there, but I'm really looking forward to your ideas. So the placeholder name is the Nirvana. So this is not a proper Italian word, it's somehow made to sound like it. Basically it's made for the Alpine snows, it's sitting a bit higher up than Cisalpinas normally do. It's meant to handle the cold with the soul of Cisalpina's heritage. You decide if the name and the design in general is working. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. It's not too late to stop the project, but I really would like to do it. If you have better names, different name ideas, let me know. If you have feedback to the design, let me know. I will probably only change things when your ideas are properly good. But for now, let's leave it there. Next time we do the interior design, we do the engine, we do all of the engineering, and of course also the project management, and test drive it in BeamNG. Until then, thank you all very much for watching. See you all again next time, and bye bye.